What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, previews and vlogs. If you guys have been here before, I appreciate for coming back and watching this video. If you've not been here before, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the little bell notification to notify you when I drop a video. Also, follow me on Instagram at previews and vlogs. So today I'm actually making this video. I've never actually made a video on my car, on what I've done to the car. I have a 2014 CTS. You guys have seen it in a few other videos here, but I've never actually done a video on what I've done to the car. So today I'm actually going to be removing everything I've done to it, which I already removed the downpipe. I went to work, had one of the technicians get it up in the lift and get the downpipe taken off from ZZP. But I'm going to be removing the intake that I got from ZZP and the throttle body that I have from ZZP, which is the 67mm throttle body that I actually have a video and I did how I install it. Also, I'm taking the wheels off and putting the stock wheels back on. The reason I'm doing this is because this is the last day, or actually the last night, that my car's gonna be in this garage with me, and tomorrow will be the last day I drive the car. The reason I'm doing this again is I am trading out of the car. I'm upgrading from the 2.0 turbo that I currently have to the rear-wheel drive CTS V-Sport, which is a 3.6 liter twin turbo engine. And you guys will see that, and I'm gonna be basically doing upgrades on that car, and I'll be doing them and showing them to you guys in the channel as well. All the upgrades I did to this car, other than the throttle body, I have not shown you guys, and that's before I had my YouTube channel. So today I'm gonna kind of show you me taking everything off, and it'll kind of give you an idea of how to put everything on. Now, all the parts that I'm taking off are from ZZP, except for the wheels, of course. And all the parts that I will be taking off do not work with the new Cadillac that I'm getting, or new CTS I'm getting. But if you guys want them, hit me up on my Instagram, and I'm selling the parts for, of course they are used parts, but I'll be selling those parts. So if you guys have a 2.0 turbo and you want to do some upgrades and you want to save some money on the parts, let me know. All the parts are working perfectly fine and there's nothing wrong with them. So right now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take everything off. Alright guys, so what I pretty much have on my car right now is the throttle body that's from ZZP, and I have the intake. Now the intake was never an actual intake, it was just a silicone tubing, which doesn't have a restrictor on there, and it's pretty much just wider, and it has a Canon air filter because they do not make an intake for whatever reason for this car. Like I said, the downpipe has already been taken out, and that is actually right over here. So that's the ZZP downpipe there that was already taken out. So that's already out, and again, it's in great condition. So if you guys want the downpipe, I'll put the price on the bottom of the description here. But that's what we're gonna be taking out. We're taking out the throttle body, and we're gonna be taking out this intake and putting everything back to stock. All right, so we're gonna start off with the easiest part, which is of course the intake. This is pretty much the easiest part. It's just this tubing's gotta come out, unplug this, and it's good to go. Now the Canon drop-in filter, unfortunately I'm gonna have to leave in there. So if you guys do want this piece, you're gonna have to buy a Canon filter for this. I don't have the stock filter, at least I don't think I have the stock filter. I will double check that. I might have the stock filter, but so I'm gonna have to leave the Canon filter in there for now. But I will be taking this, which is again just a flathead here and a flathead there, and then this pops off very easily. So let's get this one out of there. And there you have it. That's pretty much it. That's the intake given from ZZP. It's just a silicone tube and a K&N filter. You don't have to unplug the mass airflow sensor or any of that. Just go ahead and we'll put the old one back on, which is a stock version. Go underneath this, of course. So that goes in there, make sure that fits right in there. And then this one goes into the turbo. Tighten it down. And that's it. We are all done. back in there, back on the turbo, that's hooked back on, and that's how simple that was. Now, a little bit harder job, the throttle body. The throttle body, 4 bolts, but then we gotta, of course, put the old parts back in there, making sure everything fits properly in there and we don't have any issues with having a check engine light come on this vehicle. So we'll get that going with that right now as well. So just so you guys see, this is the stock one. The one that came factory from the car, of course, as you can see how dirty that one is. It's got all that corrosion and stuff like that. This is the one that I got from ZZP. You saw how easy that was to take out. If you guys want to see, of course, how easy it is to put back in it, just watch the video that I'm gonna link up in the description. You guys will see how I put this in, but kind of did the reverse of taking it out. So now we're gonna use the same exact bolts that came from the factory one to put it back in. And we attach this one here. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. All right, so that's all done. As you guys can see on here, got the stock intake back in, or intake tube, the stock throttle body with the intake tubing on there, of course. Always make sure this thing here does not pop off. It's tight on there, this disc right here. You gotta be very careful with this disc when you're taking it off and putting it back on. If you break this, this will not lock back onto that throttle. So that's stock back on there. Intake tubing, K&N filter still on there. I have not taken that out of there. I don't have another filter to replace it with at this point, so I'm just gonna leave it on there. Here is the aftermarket or the ZZP throttle with all the piping needed to hook that up with. I'll include everything on there. Again, the ZZP downpipe and the silicone intake tubing. Now, I did have a little bit of a mishaps when I was putting back the sensor onto the tubing. I dropped the screw in here somewhere in there. I was not about to take this whole panel apart and go through that whole process, so I just basically put another screw in here to hook up that sensor on there. So, pretty simple setup. The biggest pain in the butt of doing this is connecting it and taking it out of the hose or the tubing that connects to the intercooler. That's pretty much the biggest pain of this whole project here, is hooking it back up and taking out that tubing. It was a pain to get it out. You got to pry it, and then to put it back in, you got to kind of wiggle it in. I kind of lubed it a little bit, not too much. Just kind of just lubed a little bit around it just to get it in there and let it slide in there, so it's as smooth as possible when I slid back in there. Again, you guys probably can't see that what I'm trying to show you. But that's it. Now, of course, next step is going to be to remove the wheels and put the stock tires back on the car, stock wheels back on the car, because again, after today, this car will be gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. So in the process of changing the wheels back to the stock wheels, I decided, of course, to take off the HID lights I put on there. I think I have about, they're 6K or 8K, I'm not sure. But the stock ones, actually the stock ones are 6K. I put on there the 8K, so it gives it that little blue tint, kind of a more white light. So I'm actually gonna take those bulbs out because those will work for the other Caddy. So I'm gonna show you guys, if you guys have not taken or don't know how to change the bulbs on Cadillac CTS 2014, I'm gonna show you real quick here what exactly you have to do. So, first of all, the wheel has to come off. Then on each side here, get you guys some light here. This panel has to come off. There's a bunch of screws, just like you see them down there. That doesn't have to come off over there. This mud guard or whatever does not have to come off. I took it off because I forgot how to do it, but that does not have to come off. It can just stay intact underneath this. You gotta take off all the screws for the panel. A few of the screws that are on the side here, probably 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and a few at the bottom. And right up here, right there, is going to be where the light is. That actually is a cap. Let's see if I can get a better view of this. You guys might not be able to see this, but that just kind of twists off like a cap, and it comes off. So basically, when it's on there, you just kind of twist it off, just like a cap. And there is the light. That's the actual bulb right there. You guys can see it. And then we're gonna take that out and put the original ones back on there. And by the way, to get this off, it just twists off counterclockwise. You unplug it, and that's it. So this is the, I believe these are H11s on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them back, put the original stock ones back on there. Oh, there it goes, actually D3s. You can see them right there. D3, 35 watt bottom line right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the other ones back on, but that's actually quite simple. So if you're just basically take the tire off, take about, I don't know, 8 screws off, maybe a little bit less, twist the, pull that panel back, twist the cap off, counterclockwise, twist the bulb off counterclockwise, so counterclockwise, pull it out and unplug it, and you can change the bulb. That simple. All right, so I put the bulbs back on, and now just remember that the lights have an actual tint on them. So, but that's the OE light right there. Actually, does not look that bad on camera. And that's the aftermarket light bulb. So you can see that blue tint on there. And you gotta get a better look at that right there, of the difference in the lights. So again, this one has more of a yellowish, that normal factory tint, of course, that yellow tint. It does match the actual LEDs on the side as well, so where this does not. This has a blue tint and the LEDs are pretty much kind of yellowish, but I do like the way that light does look on there, so that's why we're putting that back on the other caddy. But pretty much very simple to change the light out. So if you guys are looking to change the lights out on these cars, that's how simple that is. Alright, so a little bit sweaty, a little bit tired. It's about 10 o'clock at night here. Unfortunately, I work till 7 p.m. every day. I don't make it home till like 8, so it took me a while to get this done. But the lights are back to original equipment. The throttle is back to original equipment. So is the intake hose or snorkel, whatever you want to call it. The tires are back to original equipment. So original equipment, wheels and tires. Throttle, intake, K&N filter still in there. Last but not least, I will have to install the trim, the interior trim. It's supposed to be this wood color. Throw that right there. Right now, the car has like a black wood. You guys can probably see that. Let me get some light in here for you. And that'll be better. It's like a black wood type of color, which I actually bought from somebody on eBay. Can't really see it because it is pretty dark, but actually I bought that from somebody on a Cadillac group page I'm in on my Facebook. Those panels normally cost close to, it's about $500 if not more, somewhere around that price range from Cadillac or from GM. I got those panels for about maybe about 70 bucks, or I think something like that, 70 to 80 bucks from this person plus shipping. So all the panels inside, I was able to switch it since the car was black, and it had the black on black theme with everything being black, I wanted to make even those panels go that way, go black. I was gonna have them wrapped, but instead I did that, which actually was cheaper. So I'm gonna take those panels, put the stock panels back on, and I should be done with the car. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna see how this car feels in the drive to work, and then of course the drive to the dealers to trade out of it finally. So let me get going with those panels, and I'll show you guys what the finished result says. It would actually the car look like stock. So to get this pry tool off here, you guys won't be able to see much here. I'm gonna just basically stick this piece in here between the vent, pull forward, and that's it. And then of course you kind of go around the whole edge here. Pretty much falls off. Make sure that all the clips are intact and not broken. And then the other one, clips are all in there, just kind of go at an angle. I'm trying to hold the camera at the same time as I do this, but and that literally pretty much just kind of clips itself in there, and we're done. And we do the same thing all the way to the doors and the little ones, pretty much the same exact thing. So panels are back on. That'll give you a better look of it. That's what they came with stock. Of course, then the back doors, the small one there. It's one. The doors and on the back. Of course, this is what I bought, and this is how they were. They kind of got that black accent, kind of like a black wood looking, black wood grain. So it matched the inside a lot more, what made it darker. But these I'm going to be putting in the new one. The new CTS V Sport is a different color. You guys will see it when I pick it up. And I'm going to be putting these panels, because these panels, the panels on that car are the same color as the one that I currently have, the stock one, which is that kind of reddish oak kind of wood, and I don't like that very much. I like a little bit darker, even though the interior of the other car is a lot lighter. But so that's pretty much it. All right, guys, so next morning we are in the car. I'm gonna drive this thing with everything stock, other than of course it being still tuned. And see the difference. Actually, just taking off of the garage here, I can notice the difference in how the car responds when you hit the gas. There's a lag. The tune's still helping out a little bit. Of course, you still feel some of that power from the tune, that whatever horsepower it gains from there, but you can feel now the lag when you accelerate. Before, with the old throttle or with the ZZP throttle, and of course the downpipe and the intake tubing, it did help out a lot with that lag where you hit the gas and the car just responded immediately. So we're gonna go ahead and drive. Hopefully I get a 0 to 60 pull here. I did one yesterday with all the stuff in the car, with all the bolt-ons on there, and I'll post it here. You guys can see the difference between 0 to 60 with the ZZP stuff and the and with the stock equipment back on there. Also, of course, the ride changes time. The 20-inch tires don't help the comfort of the ride of the car. With the stock tires, and these are being 17s on there, definitely big difference. So give me a few minutes, we'll go ahead and get the 0 to 60 here. Quick 0 to 60 pull with everything back to stock except for the tune. So that's pretty much it for this video. Kind of did the reverse of what I should have done on a video, which is install all the parts and showed you guys how I installed and how the car ran. But at this point, pretty much it's kind of too late. I'm trading out of the car, so I had to remove everything. So I kind of showed you guys the removal, which again, the installation is not that hard of a process either. So I hope you guys like this video. More videos like this to come, especially now that I'm getting the V Sport. I will see you guys when I'm doing things to that car. I'm also gonna be doing the video when I pick up the car and my first drive home with that car. So I'll see you guys. Be doing that probably tomorrow. So take care. I hope you like this video. If you do, please subscribe and hit the like button. Take care, guys.